Hi, friend. Hi, friends. I'm Olivia Smith. Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel where I share the latest global news every day. You can also read more news on TimeGlitter.com. You can find all the links in the video description below. Friends, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, share with others, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now, let's jump into today's news. News headline: My ultimate and absolute revenge. Trump gives chilling CPAC speech on presidential agenda. News details: Donald Trump called himself a proud political dissident and warned of Judgment Day for his political rivals in a speech that painted a frightening picture of a democracy in danger. Using his typical dramatic style, the leading candidate for the Republican presidential nomination accused Joe Biden of using the government against him with what he called Stalinist show trials. He promised to strengthen border security and carry out the largest deportation in U.S. history if he wins the election on November 5th. At the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC in Maryland, Trump declared November 5th as a new Liberation Day for hardworking Americans, Trump told the crowd in a packed ballroom. But for those who have deceived and manipulated our government, it will be their Judgment Day. He continued, saying, "Your triumph will prove our righteousness, your freedom will be our greatest prize, and the unparalleled prosperity of the United States will be my ultimate retaliation." The audience, mostly white and adorned in Make America Great Again attire, erupted in applause and cheers. Trump's speech came just before he was expected to win the South Carolina primary over his Republican opponent, Nikki Haley, virtually securing his nomination as the party's candidate. At the convention, organizers conducted a straw poll to determine Trump's potential running mate. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem and tech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy tied with 15% each, followed by former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, current New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, and South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Nikki Haley came in last with 2%. Around 1,500 people participated in the poll. Trump's appearance marked his 14th time at CPAC, breaking a record set by former President Ronald Reagan. As claimed by his campaign, he seemed unrestrained and sometimes erratic. Despite his 77 years, he exhibited both energy and humor, resembling more of a stand-up comedian than a commander-in-chief. He shared self-deprecating jokes about his wife Melania's critiques of his speeches, quipping, "I ask our First Lady, I say, 'So baby, how good was that?' She goes, 'You were okay.'" His imitation of 81-year-old Biden's speaking style, gestures, and walk drew laughter from the audience. And reminiscent of his days hosting The Apprentice, Trump entertained the crowd by shouting, "Crooked Joe Biden, you are fired, get out of here. You're destroying our country. You're fired. Get the hell out of here." However, like past demagogues, beneath the comedy and theatrics lurked a sinister undertone. Trump's skill in manipulating the crowd, swiftly shifting their emotions from joy to anger as if flipping a switch, echoes unsettling historical patterns. The atmosphere was established even before Trump took the stage. A medley of popular songs, ABBA's Dancing Queen, Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire, Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You, and Elvis Presley's Suspicious Minds, was followed by the somber tune of Justice for All, the Star-Spangled Banner, sung by individuals imprisoned for their alleged involvement in the January 6, 2021 insurrection. The CPAC attendees stood quietly for the recording transmitted over a prison phone line. As customary, Trump entered to Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, embracing an American flag, and painted a dire picture of America overrun by violence, chaos, and crime. If crooked Joe Biden and his associates win in 2024, the situation will worsen, he warned. Our country will plummet to unimaginable depths, he emphasized. These are the stakes of this election. Our nation is under threat of destruction, and the only barrier between you and its annihilation is me. Facing 91 criminal charges across 4 cases, Trump portrayed himself as both a victim and a potential savior of the nation. Voting for Trump is your way back to freedom, your escape from tyranny, and your only means to avoid Joe Biden and his administration's path to disaster, he asserted. He continued, "In many ways, we're already living in a dire situation because Joe Biden poses a real threat to democracy." Speaking shortly after the passing of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, Trump hinted at a comparison, stating, "I stand before you not just as a former and hopefully future president, but as a proud political dissident. I am a dissident." The crowd cheered and applauded. Trump highlighted that he has faced more indictments than the infamous gangster Al Capone, dismissing dismissing the charges as baseless. This declaration prompted the audience to rise to their feet, some expressing their support by chanting, "We love Trump." Trump went on to claim, without providing evidence, that the legal proceedings against him were akin to Stalinist show trials orchestrated by Biden, undermining the foundation of the government and centuries-old legal traditions in the West. He accused the system of replacing law, precedent, and due process with what he described as a biased group of leftist Democratic partisans posing as judges, juries, and prosecutors. Trump also focused on his signature issue, stating that his first and most pressing action as president would be to secure the border, halt the influx, and send Joe Biden's illegal immigrants back to their home countries. The former president, known for his harsh rhetoric against immigrants, claimed, "They're coming from all over the world, Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and we won't tolerate it. They're harming our nation." He pledged to execute the largest deportation effort in American history, acknowledging the criticism he might face for his stance but asserting, "They're endangering our people, our nation. We have no other choice." Furthermore, Trump expressed concern about the diversity of languages entering the country, labeling it a horrible thing. However, Trump's speech veered into bizarre tangents. At one point, he shared a convoluted tale about flying into Iraq in darkness, praising the appearance of the pilots. He joked about their attractiveness, comparing them favorably to Tom Cruise. Despite the erratic nature of his speech, Trump captivated his supporters, prompting cheers and applause. He acknowledged his departure from the teleprompter, asking the crowd if they preferred his unscripted style, which received enthusiastic approval. He defended his rambling as a sign of intelligence rather than cognitive impairment, a sentiment echoed by his supporters. Friends, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, share with others, and subscribe to the